Salutations everybody, it is Matty here. Happy Friday! Today we are talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now I understand this is not the hottest topic in the games industry right now because a lot of people are still upset with what happened yesterday with the Xbox gameplay reveal event. I made a whole video on it yesterday. If you'd like to go ahead and check that out, it'll be linked in the description down below. But this is the first time where fans were understandably upset. The line of communication was there between the fans and the companies, and it seems like the higher-ups were actually quite receptive of the criticism of the show. Xbox themselves admitted that they could have sent out a better message as to what this show exactly would have been, and when it came to Assassin's Creed, creative director Ashraf Ismail actually provided an update on his Twitter account. Here's what he had to say about the reception to the trailer from Assassin's Creed. Hello all, you rightfully expected to see more today. We have a long marketing campaign ahead of us. You will see in-depth gameplay and get a lot more info about the game. Thank you for your excitement and passion. Be patient with us and be kind. It will be worth it. And this is kind of just as I said in yesterday's video. It's a short-term problem. We will eventually see Assassin's Creed gameplay. It's just how it was communicated to us to expect it yesterday. And of course, I need to remind you all that we are going hard for that 400k subscriber goal this year. I believe in us, so if you guys want more Assassin's Creed Valhalla content, keep it locked on the channel. We'll continue to cover this game. Hopefully we'll see some gameplay soon that we can really dissect, but for now, we're just gonna talk about this news bit here. But once again, hit the sub button. Let's get that goal, team. But in today's video, what I wanted to hone in on is one of the biggest problems with Assassin's Creed Odyssey for a lot of people that is being addressed in Valhalla. Now, this problem for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I don't feel really applied to me that much, but for a lot of people, the game felt bloated. And a lot of this was due to how the content was structured. I think across the board, Assassin's Creed Odyssey was very fun to play, it was fun to partake in, even its side content, it was very well thought out, and I found it very enjoyable. In fact, it's probably my favorite Assassin's Creed game to date, if I'm honest. With that said, just like in Origins, you'd have main story missions tied to a level gate. So let's say you're just trying to grind through that main story, and the next main story mission's at level 27, but you're level 20. You're gonna have to partake in side content, level your character up in order to get to level 27, where you can then progress with the story. And so sometimes you'll have to wait 5 hours doing all the side content, even if it's fun, to get to the next part of someone's character development, and by that point it may lose a lot of its impact and you may not enjoy the game as much as you could have. So what this meant was side content didn't feel like side content. It felt like stuff you had to partake in. It was labeled side content, but it was more like main content because you had to do it to get through the main story. And when people want optional content, they want it to be just that, optional. So that's where the bloat started to come in, because then there was so much content in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and even though a lot of it was good, you'd have to complete a ton of it to make some semblance of progression. Once again, I'm not complaining. I really liked what was there, but I understand that what I felt does not represent what a lot of other people felt. Now, Malik, who does communication and localization for Ubisoft, sent out a tweet that has now been deleted, but one that should alleviate some concerns. I think the reason this was deleted is because the wording may be interpreted wrong, so we're gonna speculate and discuss what exactly the meaning behind this tweet could be, but let's go ahead and read it first. It was translated by Video Games 24/7. I'll have them linked in the description down below if you want to give their article a read. The translated tweet reads, FYI, it won't be the longest or biggest game in the series. They addressed criticism on this one, he said, referring to the size of the game. You know, even the smallest Assassin's Creed games, and we're talking mainline titles, even those were still very big games. So if you're worried about how much content you're gonna get, I wouldn't worry too much, guys. You're still probably gonna get a lot of gameplay. What I imagine here, and this is just speculation, mind you, so don't take it as fact, but what I imagine is they're probably gonna strip the whole level gating system. They're probably gonna go forth with saying, okay, we're gonna have main story missions, we're gonna have side missions that the player can partake in, and settlement stuff and what have you that's new to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But if they wanna go on into the main story, they can do that. If they wanna go do side content, they can do that as well. I think that is a optimal solution, because then you can kind of just fill the world with as much content as you want. But still, with that being said, it doesn't mean that all the side content in, say, Odyssey was perfect. There was a lot that could have been removed, hence that term bloat being associated with that game. And I think sometimes there's addition by subtraction in video games. Sometimes a game may end up being shorter, but it's better because there's less of that crap constantly getting in your way. Now this does just apply to me, but I'd rather play 2 very good side quests instead of 1 great side quest and 6 ones that aren't very good. So as the saying goes, quality over quantity. I think that's hopefully what Ubisoft is doing with this game, but fret not, because the game is still going to be pretty big, it seems. Let's read this little snippet from an IGN article. For those who aren't aware, this game takes place in not only Norway, but also England. Ashraf Ismail says you can actually quite dynamically go back to Norway anytime you want, and Norway is quite breathtaking. We have 4 kingdoms within England: Wessex, Northumbria, East Anglia, and Mercia. It is quite a large chunk of England, he said. There's other surprises that I won't spoil, but our ambition has been to deliver the Viking experience, the Viking fantasy within the Assassin's Creed world. Now, more notably is that first chunk there. We have the 4 kingdoms, a large part of England, we have Norway. The game's gonna be huge, people. The game is going to be very, very big. I have no doubt about that, okay? I don't remember the last time Ubisoft made an open world game that felt very small. I think one of the quickest ones I went through might be Watch Dogs 2. That was about a 30-hour game, and that's fine with me. I don't say this as someone who sits in the camp of, and I say this with all due respect, by the way, older gamers who go, hey, I got a life, I got a family, I got kids, I got this, that. I really can't be playing these 90-hour games. I get that. I'm in my 93rd hour of Persona 5 Royal, and I'm still not done with the game, and this is my job. So I do understand where those people are coming from, where certain experiences may not be for them, but I'm not speaking from that camp. I'm more so saying that if an open world game isn't a 100-hour experience, that's fine, right? I think a lot of people forget that Assassin's Creed Odyssey said before launch that it wanted to be bigger than Skyrim. A game from 2011, by the way, something I mentioned in that video too. I was like, games in 2018 at that time still wanted to be as big as Skyrim. So that's a testament to how big that game is and how impressive it is, but more so that within the design of that game, they wanted to make it big, and that's what I think led to its bloat. This seems to have a different focus. It does have a different creator at the head of it all, who worked on Assassin's Creed Origins, as we know. So if the vision here is something a little more slimmed down, better focus, I really do think the game will be much better because of it. I'm very excited to see actual gameplay for it. That's why I felt most burned about what happened yesterday. Assassin's Creed Valhalla was the one I was thinking, okay, even if this show stinks, at least we have that to look forward to, a trailer that we can pick apart. But for me, all plans went out the window when I saw that trailer. I'm like, I'm not bothering analyzing that. That thing was a waste. It was mismarketed. It wasn't interesting to me at all. I feel it didn't really even key us in on all that much. It felt like a rehashed version of the reveal trailer, which, don't get me wrong, folks. You guys know I made a 20+ minute video on Valhalla, okay? So I thought the reveal trailer was hype. I was ready for more. We didn't get more. So hopefully we do see gameplay soon, provided this game stays on track for its, I imagine based off leaks, September launch date. It's supposed to still be a launch game for the Xbox Series X as well as the PS5, so probably at the very latest by November we'll have this game in our hands. But fret not, I think this game will still be big, but I think it's good news that they're going to be cutting down some of the fat here and making it much more focused Assassin's Creed game. I think we'll get more quality out of that, hopefully more choices in the side quests, awesome rewards, cool places to explore. That is more important to me than having 50 more side quests where I can just do things within that same world space. It's also entirely possible that my speculation is completely off here, and that maybe when they just say the game's shorter, it's as literal as humanly possible. Like the main story is 10 hours shorter, but they're referring to the bloat in the tweet we're talking about in today's video. So I associated that more with the world, the side content, how it was structured, how it could get in the way of the main story. But it is very well possible that what Ubisoft's trying to deliver here is, say, a 20-hour story. We're going to use Watch Dogs 2 again as an example. That main story took me about 20 hours to go through, but there was still a ton of other side content to do. So I'm going to be very curious to see how they approach this truncating of the Assassin's Creed franchise. When I was looking at the whole series, I was thinking to myself, none of these games, except the first one, are really short. You know, like none of these games are small. This is notorious for being a very big, to the most literal sense, series. So to see this quote come out and then get deleted, of course, means that I think it could be taken out of context. It doesn't really directly explain what is shorter, what they're doing with the game to make it smaller. I think they're saving that for later on in different interviews, but for now, we can only speculate. So what do you think about all of this? Sound off with your opinions in the comments down below. I'm really looking forward to reading what you guys have to say about this topic. Other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. Big thank you to all of the patrons who continue to just floor it with that support here. Really appreciate all of you, and I'll talk with you soon. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.